If you really want to network and you really want to meet those connections, start a podcast, which I know you're thinking of doing. So we can wrap up this conversation with some Q&A. Man,
Absolutely.
the floor is yours. I have the rest of the night. Whatever questions you want to ask about podcasting, your content creation, some strategy, the floor is yours. I'm an open book.
All right, let me grab my other sheet of paper and I'll be right back.
Go ahead. Yeah, so I'm gonna kill time here while he's going off into the other room. So yeah, this is actually, I'm a little not surprised, but I'm pleasantly surprised actually how well John is very well spoken in his podcast. I've not talked to him ever before this. Just a few messages on TikTok. You know, right when he hopped on, we started talking. I was like, this is gonna be good. And I had some questions written down, some bullet points. I haven't really hit them. This has just been a completely raw conversation. If you want to be another raw conversation just like this, you're like Jonathan, and want to hop on the Talk with Tarashuk podcast, it's will@apspodcast.com. It's podcast.com. Let's have a conversation. All right, John, I stalled enough. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing, Will, as usual. So my first question, and I actually asked this right before, I believe, which was me being the bubbly, lighthearted person that I am. I would like to do something similar to when people were walking down the streets of Venice and having the little microphone. How do I incorporate that into business? And the 3 places I should post that content.
Okay, well, I'll start with the 3 places. The 3 places are going to be TikTok, which you're already on. It's going to be Instagram, because they're trying to compete with TikTok. And it's going to be YouTube, because all video should live on YouTube, right? You can record the things on your phone. You can get a little microphone connector on your phone. If you want inspiration, I don't know if he's still on YouTube, but I stopped watching him. Fleckus Talks. I think it's FLECCAS Talks. If not, he's definitely on Rumble because he's a little conservative. He probably got shadow banned and fed up. But
I have Rumble also.
But politics aside, just kind of watch him for how he does his content. He's literally just out there at rallies, at whatever, asking people questions. What I would do on top of that is, once you have that down and all those stuff recorded, all those videos, take the videos, extract the audio, mix them together, and release the audio as a podcast. Because you are very easy to talk to. You are very intelligent. You have a good head on your shoulders, and you have shit to say. You have experiences to share. So in terms of your business, it depends on what you're trying to do. You just got to get yourself comfortable with going to a park or a college campus or a mall and just being comfortable approaching strangers.
You do the reps.
Yeah, you do the reps. But how you incorporate that into your business, that depends on your business and your strategy. You're trying to get content for your business to promote your business, right? So even if you have an audio...
Correct. So I guess to add context on that, the person that I was working with before, he did a really good job of posting content of the houses, but I feel like he had a miss where he could have had an interaction with the customer to also add some extra content in between the pictures of shiny panels,
So if you're trying to do realty, whether it's commercial or residential, you should do a... Does he own his own realty? How many people does he have working for him?
So the person who does window cleaning, he only has about 3 or 4 people working for him. But the project management company that I just applied for, and I'm pretty sure I got the job, is probably 10 to 15 deep. With their people that work for them, their clients, they have about 200 homes they manage.
Okay. So, but do they list and sell the homes?
Yeah.
So here's what they should do. This is what I would suggest. I think it's going to be very successful because I love that you brought up Realty because this is my go-to example. The firm should have a podcast network, audio and video, right? The video goes on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for the main ones. The audio goes on iTunes, Spotify, et cetera, et cetera. The firm has a network podcast. And in that network podcast is all the people who sell houses. And what that person who sells the house does is going to do a 5-part series. It's going to be an episode on the property, the square footage, the yard, the size, the number of bathrooms, just informational. Straight up, here's the information. It's 2-bedroom, 3-bath. This is the kitchen. This is the appliances. Just straight facts. The second episode is going to be the neighborhood. what part of the county it's in, what part of the town, what schools are nearby, what shopping marts are nearby, right? The third is going to be, you know, something else, like how much it costs, how much the mortgage is, what the rates are, you know, how they can afford it. It's a 15-year mortgage on this % interest rate. You can refinance this, that, and the other. You know, and the fourth and the fifth can be anything else that comes to sell a house. That audio and video is going to go everywhere. And each realtor is going to have their own podcast feed where they just do that for their houses. And as soon as the house is sold, you just take it down. If the house goes back on the market, you put it back up. So the network feed is just going to be all the content for the full Realty and then an additional feed for each realtor. So like if you're selling houses, you can do like a 3-part series on 123 Bradford Street, another 3-part series on 426 Redford Street. And then your coworker is going to have their own 3-part series on the office building over on Main Street, as well as, you know, the empty lot on 123 Fake Street.
Yep.
So if you are an individual realtor, someone comes to you because they like your stuff. And if you're a good realtor and you give them good rates, they can be like, hey, listen, I have other properties. Can you just share this feed with me? Here's all my other properties all in one place. Or you can direct them to, say you don't have enough time, you're too busy, you have too many clients. You're like, listen, if you're looking for a realtor, here's the network feed. Here's all of our clients, all of our realtors on this one feed. Here are the listings. Here are the videos. Find who you like. Give the audience, the person looking to buy a house, options in what they want to do and who they want to work with. Because you as a podcast host and the realtor as a podcast host are going to become a personality. And I say you don't want to be a character. You know, the best character is your own personality turned up to 11.
Yep.
All that makes sense, and see, like, you can see how that would fit into a business model.
Absolutely. Just listening to it, I felt like I was hearing a pitch from someone in the early 80s when they were talking about radio. You know, if all the realtors would have started their own radio podcast and, you know, had their own series, like you said, eventually at 8:32 a.m., Rhonda is going to hear about it and make the phone call. And then from that point, like you said, it would probably then go to a YouTube subscription, which would then be, like you said, a $5 fee, let's say, but you have access to all these good realtors, and then you get even more choosy where you have your own, you get to pick, like, oh, I liked that one.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
And like the benefit for the business, creating a podcast and distributing it is free. It's free. Like if you have to like list it somewhere and you got to put up signs on the road, you know, that costs money. The only thing a podcast costs is, well, it's free. And you can put SEO and marketing behind it to make sure it grows. You got to share it a little bit, but the really only cost is, or for example, if someone's uncomfortable getting in front of the mic, you need to hire a host. Like you could hire someone like me to do some research on the property, and we'd sit down for 45 minutes. And I would ask them questions about the property like I was buying the house, right? And that's just, I would take the role of someone buying. I'd role play, and I would ask questions that someone would ask a realtor about if they want to buy a house, and you can answer those questions.
Softball questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd ask about the school districts, right? Well, what's the closest school? Are there buses? Does my kid go on a bus? I got to drop them off to school every single day. Right?
Correct.
Like stuff a realtor should know. So your business communicates through creating content. You communicate through content. Not just for Realty.
See, this is so interesting because I have a videographer who's been wanting to get out to Chattanooga to help out my real estate buddy Matthew. Mm-hmm. And so if I can get the two of them together and put this into play, because he already has a few investors in the area, you know, have, like you said, once a week, have one of them come up and give their pitch or set up their 3 to 5 part system like you gave the strategies, and I guarantee you they get business.
And if you have access to the property, bring a table in, bring your cameras in, record it in the living room. And while you're talking about it, so say like you're talking about the living room, the bathroom, you put B-roll over it. So you take raw footage of the bathroom, the shower, the cabinet space, the basement, the boiler, the washer dryer, the driveway, the garage, the basketball hoop, the pool, right? When you talk about all those things, you can overlay footage on top of it for YouTube to make it a little more interesting. You know,
And that's the kind of stuff it's on TikTok too.
yes, yes. I see realtors on TikTok. I'm like, motherfucker, you need a podcast. This needs to be audio somewhere because the audio is very valuable and the video is just a cherry on top.
Yeah.
And if you need someone to like edit the audio and do the video, they know that's something Ambiguous Podcast Solutions can offer.
And that's my next step. So I'm at the point now where I have a decent amount of equipment for my LLC.
Mhm.
I have a lot of my partners in place already. Now I just need some content creation and probably a personal assistant because I've already had to take in so many phone calls that I don't want to say I'm overwhelmed, but it's to the point where I should probably have someone.
Right. Well, I can't be a personal assistant. I probably need one myself. I
bet.
do this entire podcast by myself, including all the social posts, which is very overwhelming, but I'm very good at time management. I am a very efficient worker. I am very good at multitasking. But yeah, that's what if you're looking to get into realty, content is going to be your best friend. It's just a matter of how creative you can get with it, and you can give me a call and you can spitball ideas because that's the realty thing. Has been something I've been thinking about for a while, and I don't think I've ever actually sat down on a podcast and really, really explained it out that way with someone else.
Okay. So. And just to throw a shout out to my friend Washington, first name Jerome. He was in the Thunderbirds with me as well. And I know, first of all, that he'd love to get on a podcast with you and do a similar type of setup right here. But also, he's into content creation as well. And so if you wanted to set something up with him, he might be able to help you out on somewhere that I just don't know where you need it.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's make that happen. Any other questions?
I think, honestly, that one was my main one that I had. So other than that, as far as setting up podcasts goes, I'm probably going to reach out for some equipment tips. Other than that,
I can send you links to our store. Currently, we set up our drop shipping store through Shopify. We got Rode equipment. Rode is we're partnership with Rode. Rode is one of the best names in microphones and equipment. We're selling it discounted. I'm pretty sure you won't find it cheaper anywhere else because we're trying to undercut the market because we're a startup. Okay. So if you need if you need equipment, budget like $300 to $500, and you can get 2 mics and interface, and then yeah, I can help you. I'm happy to be a consultant as well. I do this all day. I podcast all day. I've been doing it for 8 years. My brain is open to be picked.